Let's sum up this particular chapter. See what you learned in this chapter. You started off by understanding what is a relation, correct? Now, when we talk about relation, so you have different types of relation. We learned about different types of relation. And if you have two sets, what we call as the domain and range, how the domain and range are related to each other, correct? This is the whole point of relation. Now, once you have a relation, then you are going to write it in a particular format, correct? So A cross A is going to be one relation, and the element, suppose if you have A cross B, then elements of A are related to elements of B. Now, in a particular function, correct? So that is basically a relation. Now, once you have studied about relation, the next thing what you learned in this chapter is function, correct? Now, when we talk about function, so what exactly is a function? Function is basically when you have two sets, the relation which defines, like there is some sort of a relation between the two sets. That definition is basically a function, isn't it? So once you have learnt about function, there are different types of functions what you learnt, isn't it? So you learnt about constant functions, identity function, exponential. There were so many different types of functions. You learnt about each and every type of function, correct? Now, this particular chapter is more like a precursor for what you have for the next year. All right, so every part of relation and function, especially function, whatever the functions you have studied this year, this is very important. All right, so this summarizes the entire chapter of relations and functions.